Hi, Scott Martin here, and I just want to talk a little bit today. This is, I think, episode 5 in a series of family stories, and this one really goes back to how did we end up in Africa to begin with? Um, and it's an interesting story. It goes back. My dad had a roommate from Kenya, um, and um, and they hit it off. They spent a lot of time and energy together. Um, that really solidified my dad's interest in global ministry and having that collegial relationship, that friendship with someone from the region. I think really shaped who and how he pursued ministry. Um, but as they were recruited and signed on with the missionary board, the need was actually in Bangladesh. Um, there was a position there and a need for a family to be in Bangladesh. And so my parents agreed for that and prepared for that. They fundraised for that, traveled the country, talking to churches and people about supporting that ministry. Met the leaders of the church there, as well as the leaders of the church um, in India as well, as that's a partnership in that region. And so it really became Martin's to Bangladesh, and we were learning Bengali and um, preparing for that mission. And then after 2 years, we applied for visas. The funding was there, but we just weren't permitted to go. And in um, so it had been a couple of years, and we had been um, full-time preparation for that ministry. My sister was in early elementary, kindergarten, or first grade. I was in late elementary, fifth and sixth grade ish, and we were living in Anderson, Indiana, preparing for that move. So that Christmas, we continued to travel, spend time with family up in North Dakota, and and made our way back through some churches and visited some family in Texas. And while we were in Texas, messages got to us. It's pre-cell phone, so you have to track people down, call their family members, find out where they were last headed. Word came that a missionary had passed away in Tanzania, and there was an immediate need for a family to go there that fit our profile. My mom was a nurse, my dad a pastor, and he fit the profile that we fit the profile for Tanzania. And with this passing of this missionary, that need was immediate, and the language school that they preferred to use was in Musoma and began on January 15th. And so we are in between Christmas and New Year's when we get this message. And my parents agreed, and immediately we hit the road, headed to back from Dallas. Well, of course, the next 2 weeks, we got all of our shots, which back in the day was a lot. Um, I'm sure there was typhoid and yellow fever and tetanus and whatever else. I just remember being sick a lot of the time in between. We said goodbye to our friends, packed up our things, um, finished up our barrel packing among our illnesses, figured out where in the heck Tanzania was on the map. My geography was still kind of limited. Um, and, 2 weeks from getting the word, we were on the ground in Tanzania and um, landed. My sister had been sick the entire route, flew through London. I don't remember being super sick on that flight, but by the next flight, we flew Ethiopian Air, landed in Addis Ababa. I don't know if you know this, but there used to be smoking allowed on airplanes. Um, and as if air sickness wasn't a big enough deal, air sickness with smoking um, was a nice combination. Oh, and combined, we had never had boiled tomatoes for breakfast. And that'll make you nauseous if you hadn't had that before. And so we were pretty ill by the time we landed in Arusha. We deplaned, and the terminal there, where you just walk off onto the tarmac, We left Anderson, Indiana. It was below freezing and snow on the ground. We arrived in Dar es Salaam in the midst of summer on the equator, Africa hot, on the tarmac, walked down pale as ghosts, sick as dogs, and there was a photographer there to take our picture, which made the cover of Missions Magazine. And if you go back and look at the cover, and I may try to add it in the video if I can find it, my sister is holding the blanket that we call her puke blanket that she used for wiping her mouth after she vomited in the picture. And we all just look fantastic. And that was our welcome to Africa moment. If you're enjoying these, let us know, and we'll keep putting them up there. But thanks for listening. Have a great day.